Gina Towns is the Vice President of Senior Connection. She's here to answer the question about nursing home pay and Medicare. That's a big question, Gina.
It is. It is.
So first of all, what is going on out in the Medicare world that precipitated asking that question? What's happening?
Well, really the push is for more quality care than quantity. And it started off in the hospital systems with the payment providers, or the payments to providers, doctors and hospitals. We heard about it a few years ago that doctors were going to stop accepting Medicare patients, and it was a huge deal. People were really worried that they weren't going to be able to see their doctor anymore because they were going to lose money on it. But it's not the case. It's just they are incentivizing the doctors and hospitals to provide better care and not just a numbers game of bringing as many people in and seeing as many people as possible. And so the nursing homes are now following suit, or they need to be following suit if they want to get paid. So it's quality care, not quantity of care.
Well, now how will that help me understand how that's going to look different?
Well, it's a lot about readmissions, lowering the readmission rate. So when you go into a nursing home or a skilled facility from a hospital stay, let's say you've had a heart attack and now you have to go to a skilled facility for rehab. Exactly. Right. They want to make sure that they are providing the right time, right types of care for you, and making sure that you're getting the physical therapy that you need, having the facility be cleanly and following all the standard rules so that you don't get sick or be injured and go back into the hospital. Because if you are readmitted, particularly within 30 days of being discharged from the hospital, their payments can go down drastically. And there are actually thousands of nursing homes across the country that are going to lose money, almost 2% drop in those payments because of it.
Well, what does that then on the ground, if you're a nursing home rehab facility, what does that tell you? What do you need to be doing to make sure that that doesn't happen to you?
Well, it's really a catch-22 for the skilled facilities.
Sounds like it.
Because you need to in order to meet all of these guidelines and such, you need good staff. You need to have a lot of people to provide that care, and a lot of the facilities find themselves understaffed and under-budgeted, or underfunded, I should say, because they just don't have the people to meet those guidelines, and so they're completely overwhelmed by the residents in the facilities.
Well, all right. So when does this go into effect? Is it in effect now?
It's already been in effect.
So it's happening.
It's happening. It's going to continue to happen. So we'll see more and more of the nursing homes continue to provide better care, or hopefully will continue to provide better care. And you can find out about which hospitals or which nursing homes are meeting those guidelines through the CMS website. They do rank the facilities in your area so that you can see, are they meeting or exceeding those standardized policies and such. So you can determine if you want to go there. If they're getting bad marks and they're not getting that reimbursement, that is going to affect your patient care if you have to go there. So
what's that website, Gina?
CMS.gov.
Okay. What does that stand for?
Center for Medicare and Medicaid. They are the ones that determine all of the budgeting on Medicare policies and such.
So is it a pretty detailed review of the facilities? Yeah,
it is. You can find out how many times they've gotten bad marks, what their staffing is like, what their response rates are. We have looked that stuff up and printed it off for our clients many times to see all the 5-star facilities in the area or who's below 3-star to help them determine if they need to go, or where they want to put their parents if they need additional care. So
this is just great information to know. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And probably a lot of people don't know that you can look that up.
You can look it up, and there's also one of the big questions we get, well, actually not we get, but is, can nursing homes kick you out? And yes, they can. That is a concern. And there are specific guidelines that they have to follow as to how they can kick you out. It can't be just they're kicking you out because you are needing more assistance. But if you're not paying your bills, you are private paying, meaning you just pay for it out of pocket, and then you run out of funds and you aren't qualifying for Medicaid, they can kick you out. Now, if you are in the process of qualifying for Medicaid and waiting for that, they cannot kick you out while you're going through that processing. But if you stop paying your bills, they can kick you out. If you are causing problems, or if you are injuring or could potentially injure yourself or staff members, they can kick you out. And it can be very difficult because it leaves people homeless.
Well, it's just a lot to know. I mean, those are big ticket items. Thank you, Gina.
You are very welcome.
For all the great information.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Yes, you too.
We'll be back with more local lifestyles right after this.
This portion of Lifestyles is sponsored by Senior Connection.